Hi there everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get to the comments first of all then before we get into the plan for tonight. Let's see who we got. We have Sue and the Donuts saying good evening all. Welcome along guys. We've got Millie here saying good evening from the two of us plus a guest tonight. Wow, well the more the merrier. Welcome along. Andy says what ho old chaps, good to see you. We've got Mark as well saying bonjour from the Funky Chickens, and you are here representing the Britzillians. Good evening to you as well. Hope you're all doing great. Thank you all for being here. We've got a similar kind of format to what we did last week tonight. So we're going to go through 3 different random quiz rounds, and then we're going to do some more cryptic bands. I think we're almost finishing that list off now. So we're going to see how many more we can get before we get to the end of the show tonight. So, but first of all, of course, to get you all-important bonus point, let's see who's going to come along tonight, because it's the kids' question time. That's going to kick off the show for a bonus point, so let's go over to that one now. Okay, here we go then. Who have we got tonight? We have Ruben. Yes, we got my son here tonight. Just you and me tonight, mate. So we're going to bring up the question. What you need to do then is let me know in the comments what you think the answer is. If you get this one right, you earn bonus point, a bonus point for your team. You can use that bonus point and add it onto your total score for any of the next 3 quiz rounds, just like usual. But for the benefit of anybody new that's watching, that's what this particular question is about. For those 3 quiz rounds coming, you don't need to put those answers in the comments, just this first one, okay, for now. Right, let's bring up the question then. Go on and you can ask it then.
Which birthday did Google recently celebrate on 27th of September?
And do the answers as well. Is it
A, 20th, B, 25th, C, 30th, or D, 35th?
Okay, so which birthday did Google recently celebrate? Guess in the comments then. I think we've got, is it 4 or 5 quiz teams tonight? So everybody have a guess and let's see who gets the bonus point for this one. Maybe some of you saw it as you were browsing around the time it happened. Quickly now have a guess and then we will reveal the answer. We've got some guesses in already, that's good. Are they the right ones though, I wonder? Were you paying attention? Did you even see it, or is it just a guess? That's 4. Okay, let's give it a little bit longer. Let's see who else wants to have a guess. A few more seconds to lock in your guess, please. And then we will reveal what that answer is. We are ready to go.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Go.
What could possibly be more important than what you're doing right now?
Go. Clock. I will go.
No.
Stopwatch.
No.
Timer.
No. No.
Why?
No, it's too late. Too late. Let's see. Read the guesses out then. Come on, we're giving it time. So, Sue has said B, Andy said B, Ju says B, and Mark says B. There we go. Time's up. Thank you.
Okay.
So, the answer
Is, what have you got? B.
it is B. Yes. So the
This,
25th.
This guy down here, yeah?
Yeah. Is that it?
So this is the age of this.
I had to get the Google
Yeah.
logo as well, didn't I? He said, "Where's the picture? You haven't got the logo." Oh, I've got to last minute panic. Get the logo on there as well. Okay, so that means that for the first time in ages, everybody that had a guess has got themselves a bonus point. Very well done.
And maybe next week we'll do Disney because they had one too.
Well, you've given it away now. They can look it up. Cheating. No. We'll have to change it. All right. Thank you all for that. Well done for getting bonus points. Yes. 1998. Correct, Andy. That's right. Yeah. It has been going for 25 years now. Okay. Thanks for your help, Ruben. Everybody say goodbye, Ruben. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, right, well, that's that one over and done with then. I'm just going to adjust my light a little. It's a bit darker down here at the moment, isn't it? Let's see if I can sort that out. There we go. That's better. See me now? Didn't realise it was like that. Okay, yes, and cheerio, absolutely, Andy. Yeah, so thank you all, everybody, for that one. You've got a bonus point there. Have that allocated to whichever quiz round you want. And you can see it on the bottom of the screen, the 4 quiz rounds we're going to be doing this evening. We're going to kick off with the TV and films round. We've then got a sport round, and then we've got a guest round, if you like, a random themed round, which is a cats and dogs round. So that's going to be not just actual cats and dogs, it's going to be about fictional cats and dogs. It could be about, I don't know, company logos that feature cats and dogs. Anything goes with that connection. Okay? So that's the 3rd round. And then we'll do, as I said earlier, the cryptic music round we'll do as well, just like we did last week and for a few weeks before, carrying on with those songs, or those artists and groups, I should say. Right, so 15 questions, 1 point for each correct answer, unless otherwise stated. And let's make a start, shall we? So, question number 1. Edward Furlong, Nick Stahl, Thomas Dekker, and Christian Bale have all played which iconic movie and TV role? Edward Furlong, Nick Stahl, Thomas Dekker, and Christian Bale have all played which iconic movie and TV role? They might not be the only ones to have, but those 4 certainly are 4 of them. So across movie and TV, the same role. What could that be? For 1 point to kick us off in this TV and films round. Question number 2. Question number 2. What is the name of the character Shane Ritchie played in EastEnders? What is the name of Shane Ritchie's character from EastEnders? Do you know, I've just realised I've sat down here and I haven't got my drink. That was a mistake. I left it out there. Hopefully I can get somebody's attention in a minute. Question 3 now. Question 3. Cynthia Nixon, Kristin Davis and Kim Cattrall co-starred in which long-running TV series, which also had its own movies? Cynthia Nixon, Kristin Davis and Kim Cattrall all co-starred in which long-running TV series, which was also turned into movies? Oh, Millie says, sorry, back now, has to disappear for 10 minutes. Well, you've missed out on a bonus point. Everybody else got it. Never mind. Never mind. If you need me to repeat any questions other than that opening one from this round, I can do that, of course, at the end if you missed any. Question 4 now. Question number 4. Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd co-wrote which supernatural comedies? Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd co-wrote which supernatural comedies? It's a 1 point question as a franchise, and they co-wrote part of it, shall we say. Okay, question number 5 now. Question 5. Which director created the TV shows Alias, Lost, and Fringe? One director created all 3 of those. Which director created the TV shows Alias, Lost, and Fringe? Yes. Just going to see if I can message my missus and get her to bring my water up, or send somebody up with water. See if I can work that out from here. Okay, question number 6 now. Question 6. Which kids' TV show featured the characters Ted Glenn, Mrs. Goggins, and Alf, amongst others? Another 1 point question. They all featured in the same show. Which kids' TV show featured the characters Ted Glenn, Mrs. Goggins, and Alf, amongst others? Right. Question number 7 now. Question 7. Which actor appeared in The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape, and The Dirty Dozen before getting a leading role in the Death Wish series of movies? That's quite some filmography to be involved in. Which actor appeared in The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape, and The Dirty Dozen before getting a leading role, or the leading role, in the Death Wish series of films? Okay, question number 8 now. Question 8. How many live-action Batman movies have there been to date where the word Batman appears in the title? How many live-action Batman movies have there been to date where the word Batman appears in the title? Okay, question number 9 now. Question 9. Which classic British TV comedy series featured a hotel which was temporarily renamed to Warty Towels for one episode? Which classic British TV comedy series featured a hotel which was temporarily renamed to Warty Towels for one episode? Right, your next question then, question number 10. Which classic comedy act featured in films such as Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, and Duck Soup? Which classic comedy act featured in films such as Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, and Duck Soup? Okay, your next question. According to the British box office, which movie beat Titanic to become the highest grossing movie of all time in 2008? I will give you multiple choice for this one. Was it Mamma Mia, Quantum of Solace, or The Dark Knight? According to the British box office, which movie beat Titanic to become the highest grossing movie of all time in 2008? Was it Mamma Mia, Quantum of Solace, or The Dark Knight? Question 12 now, question number 12. Which was the very first programme to be shown on Channel 4? Which was the very first programme to be shown on Channel 4? I'll give you an extra clue on this one because I'm feeling generous tonight. It was and is a show still on TV to this day. What was the name of the very first programme to be shown on Channel 4? Question number 13 now. Question 13. What was the name of the pub in Only Fools and Horses? What was the name of the pub in the Only Fools and Horses series? Okay, question 14 now. Question 14. Which is the only British TV soap to have cast members lasting more than 40 years? Which is the only British TV soap to have cast members lasting more than 40 years? And finally then, question 15. This one is for 3 points. In which 3 movies does Tom Cruise first play studio exec Les Grossman, US Navy Lieutenant Junior Grade Daniel Kaffee, and IMF agent Ethan Hunt? In which 3 movies does Tom Cruise first play studio exec Les Grossman, US Navy Lieutenant Junior Grade Daniel Kaffee, and IMF agent Ethan Hunt? So 3 points there, 1 point for each correct answer, of course. And that is the end of this round. So let me know if you need me to repeat any of those questions. I'll happily do that for you. And then in a moment we will go through the answers. You can tally up your scores and let me know how well you did in the comments. But I will give you a little bit of thinking time. Let me just check, see if there's any... No more comments have come in, so that's fine. So just let me know now, while you're having a bit of a think on those last few questions, if there's any gaps that you've missed in your answers. Let me know if there's one you want me to repeat. That in turn then gives everybody a bit more thinking time. And of course I take these opportunities to remind you that in the description of this video and every video I post, there is a link to where you can follow me on all the social media channels I'm on and everywhere else as well. I might give you a little glimpse of something a bit later on along those lines. So see how we're doing for time. But yes, that link is in the description, but you can follow me on all the usual social media places everywhere. It's just at Big Quiz Night In, as you will see popping up all over the screen at some point throughout the evening. Okay, no comments asking for repeats, so I am going to go through the answers now. So I hope you're all ready. Mark your answers and let me know how many points you got in the comments. So, question number 1. Ed Furlong, Nick Stahl, Thomas Dekker and Christian Bale have all played which iconic movie and TV role? They have played John Connor in the Terminator franchise. Various different movies, and there was a TV series as well where John Connor appeared. There was the Sarah Connor Chronicles. So yeah, there's lots of different versions that have been played now, and I think more than that by now as well. But those 4 have all played John Connor. Question 2. Shane Ritchie's character in EastEnders, Alfie Moon. Question 3. Cynthia Nixon, Kristin Davis and Kim Cattrall all co-starred in Sex and the City. Question 4. Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd co-wrote Ghostbusters 1 and 2. It's just a 1 point question. As long as you put Ghostbusters, you got the point there. Question 5. Which director created the TV shows called Alias, Lost and Fringe? That was J.J. Abrams. Question 6. Which kids' TV show featured the characters Ted Glenn, Mrs. Goggins and Alf, amongst others? It is Postman Pat. Question 7. Which actor appeared in The Magnificent Seven, The Great Escape and The Dirty Dozen before getting the leading role in the Death Wish series of films? He's Charles Bronson. Okay, question 8. How many live-action Batman movies have there been to date where the word Batman appears in the title? So far there have been 8. Let's just quickly run through them. So there was the original 1966 Caped Crusader Batman movie. That was just called Batman. And then you get up to Tim Burton's movie. So in '89 it was again Batman. And then you had Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. Then you had the Dark Knight trilogy where only the first one had the word Batman in the title. So that was Batman Begins. The next 2 were just called The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises, so they don't count in this. And then you had The Batman, and you've also got Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. So yeah, that was from the DC Extended Universe, as they called it. The Batman is the more recent one. That was in 2022. So 8 movies in total mention the word Batman in their titles. Question number 9. The TV series that had a hotel temporarily renamed to Warty Towels for one episode was Faulty Towers. Faulty Towers. Question 10. The classic comedy act that featured in films such as Animal Crackers, Monkey Business and Duck Soup were the Marx Brothers. Question 11. According to the British box office, the movie that beat Titanic to become the highest grossing movie of all time in 2008, it was Mamma Mia. I'd always hoped it would have been The Dark Knight, personally, but no, it was Mamma Mia. Question 12. Which was the first programme shown on Channel 4 back in 1982? Still going to this day. It is Countdown. Question 13. What is the name of the pub in Only Fools and Horses? That is the Nag's Head. Question 14. The only British TV soap to have cast members lasting more than 40 years. In fact, 2 of them are 60 years, give or take. It is Coronation Street. I think Ken, the actor who plays Ken Barlow, he's been in it longer than anybody's been in any soap ever. Not just in the UK, in terms of TV at least. And that is, Coronation Street. So, only second to The Archers, which is a radio show, so it doesn't count in this one. But there's somebody who's in The Archers who has been in it and still is to this day for longer than Ken's been in Coronation Street. So like 60, I don't know, 62, 63, 64 years. It's a crazy amount of time. And question 15. In which 3 movies does Tom Cruise first play? Studio exec Les Grossman. That would be in a cameo appearance in Tropic Thunder. Unrecognisable. Is brilliant in that. It's unrecognisable. If you haven't seen it, bit controversial these days, but do check it out. It's still a very funny film in its own way. US Navy Lieutenant Junior Grade Daniel Caffey. That is in A Few Good Men. And IMF agent Ethan Hunt is, of course, from the Mission Impossible franchise. So Tropic Thunder, A Few Good Men, and Mission Impossible for 3 points. Now, the answer to the countdown conundrum that's been on screen throughout, if you want an extra 2 bonus points, you needed to put Boyfriend. Boyfriend was the countdown conundrum for round 1. There's 2 more to come, of course. So start tallying those scores up. If you got the conundrum right, that's 2 bonus points. If you want to add on your point for the kids question at the start, that's 1 extra point. But you can use that one for the sport or the cats and dogs round to come. Tally up those scores, and then, let me know how you did in the comments. Now, you'll have to give me a moment. I'm going to have to run and get my drink because I'm gasping and nobody's responding to my messages. So, yes, I'll be right back. But put your scores in the comments and I'll read them through, and we'll celebrate with those who do well and commiserate with those who perhaps don't do so well. 2 seconds. Told you, 2 seconds. Here we go, scores are coming in. Excellent stuff. It's quite a low scoring round, this one. Normally we do lots of multiple point questions, but this time a lot of them were just 1 point for each, with the exception of maybe the last one, I think. Yeah, the rest of the quiz I can't guarantee will be so low scoring. Okay, so with that said then, Mark and the Funky Chickens, 12 plus 2 plus 1, they're taking the bonus points there, well done. Okay, so that's 15 points in total. The Donuts scored 15, got the conundrum, excellent. Vernier says the Brazilians have got 12 points, another good score. I think we can work this out, can't we? So 17 points is the maximum for that round, because only the last one was for more than 1 point. Yeah, I am right in saying that, aren't I? Yeah. So 17 points is a pretty low scoring round anyway. So if you got 12 points, that's great. TV and films, never a strong round for me. I know, sorry Andy. It's just such a common pub quiz subject. But hey, at least you're learning more every time you do a round. It might help you out at the pub quiz again in the future. You never know. But he's got 10 points anyway, which is still great considering you're playing on your own there. I'd be happy with that. Very well done. Any more for any more? Before we move on, you can of course always add in your scores if we move on to the next round. It doesn't matter because the comments continue. I'll still give you the shout out. The next round is of course our sport round. There'll be another conundrum on screen. We'll see if you can get 2 bonus points for yourselves for getting that one right. I think the next one will be a bit tougher than this one was. So good luck with that. Let's roll on over to the next round then. Okay, so sport round then. 15 questions. Any and all sports go. Millie's just jumped in the chat to say we did better this time. 15 points. Better with 3 of you. Yeah, that's a good score as well. Well, this round is back to service as usual because this has got many multiple point questions in it. Okay, so there's lots more points up for grabs in this one. So here we go. 15 more questions. Let me know if you want any repeats when we get to the end of the round, and I'll do those for you as well. Question 1. Which footballer is associated with the hand of God? Which footballer is associated with the hand of God? Question number 2 then, for 3 points. What does the sporting abbreviation IBF mean to the likes of Anthony Joshua? What does the sporting abbreviation of IBF mean to the likes of Anthony Joshua? 1 point for each correct word, okay? Question number 3 now. Question 3. How many consecutive strikes do you need for a turkey in 10-pin bowling? How many consecutive strikes do you need for a turkey in 10-pin bowling? Okay, your next question then, question number 4. I need you to cast your minds back now to that awful time at the start of the pandemic, because which 3 football clubs were first, second and third in the Barclays Premier League before the season was suspended in March due to the pandemic? Which 3 football clubs were first, second and third in the Barclays Premier League before the season was suspended in March of that year due to the pandemic? You do not have to put them in the correct order. You can still have 1 point for each regardless. So just think of who those top 3 teams could be. See how many of them you get correctly. Of course, 1 point for each. The top 3 clubs at the time the season was suspended in March of that year. Okay, question number 5 now. Which golf course is home to the Masters tournament? Which golf course is home to the Masters tournament? Question number 6 now. Question 6. Put these footballers into the correct order with the most international goals scored first. Robin van Persie, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Romelu Lukaku. Put these footballers into the correct order with the most international goals scored first. Robin van Persie, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Romelu Lukaku. Okay, your next question then. Whose American football teams are the Bills, the Titans, and the 49ers? Whose American football teams are the Bills, the Titans, and the 49ers? Okay, your next question then. Question number 8. The film called Million Dollar Baby is a movie based around which sport? The film called Million Dollar Baby is a movie based around which sport? And your next question, question number 9. This one's for 2 points. Which male and which female tennis players have won Wimbledon singles titles the most times? Which male and which female tennis players have won Wimbledon singles titles the most times? Okay, question number 10 now. Question 10. Which university has won the most Oxford versus Cambridge boat races? Which university has won the most in the Oxford versus Cambridge boat races? This is, of course, in the men's racing. It's the one that's been going the longest, isn't it? Okay, your next question then. How many points are awarded for a first place finish in Formula One, a try in rugby union, and a touchdown in American football? 1 point for each. So obviously you get 1 point for each. It's not that's not the points in the answers. How many points are awarded for a first place finish in Formula One, a try in rugby union, and a touchdown in American football? For each of the 3 you guess correctly, you get 1 point for each of them, okay? So once again, a first place finish in Formula One, a try in rugby union, and a touchdown in American football. Okay, then the next question is for another 3 points. This is question 12. What do WA, GD, and C stand for in a netball team? What do WA, GD, and C stand for in a netball team? Again, that is 1 point for each correct answer. Okay, question number 13 now. Question 13. Who is the last German to become Formula One World Drivers' Champion? Who was the last German to become Formula One World Drivers' Champion? Question number 14 now. Question 14. Which 3 nations won the most gold medals at the Winter Olympics in 2018? Which 3 nations won the most gold medals at the Winter Olympics of 2018? Again, you don't need to put them in the correct order. Just name the top 3 nations. Quite often they are quite similar every year. So let's see if you can work out who the top 3 were for 2018. In any order, the top 3. Okay, and earlier on I asked you about the top 3 teams in the Barclays Premier League just before the pandemic. I'm going to ask you now, which 3 football clubs were in the relegation zone in the Premier League when the season was suspended due to the pandemic? So same time of year, but who were the bottom 3 clubs in the Premier League, the English Premier League? So again, you don't have to put them in the correct order. Just name who the bottom 3 clubs were at that time. That brings us to the end of the round. So whilst you're thinking about that, please also let me know if I can repeat any questions for you. And we'll go through that same process before we move on to round number 3. Okay. No comments coming in so far. I'll give you a little bit more thinking time. I'm trying to think if I had anything else to update you guys on. But I don't think I do. Not too much going on outside of the live show here that I can inform you on, really. Yes. Oh, I did post the calendar invite. The Facebook event page is now posted for our in-person meetup, which will be on Thursday the 28th of December at the King's Head and Bell. Please, everybody that's planning on going to that as individuals, please RSVP to that so I know how many spaces I'm reserving for you, because it will be very busy. So especially at that time of year. So I'd like to make sure the table's reserved again closest to where I set up for the pub quiz, so you can sit close to me and join in the pub quiz with everybody else. But I do need to know if you're coming or not. I know some of you will send me messages, but responding to that event will be very, very helpful, just so I can know numbers, because I don't want there to be tables, not enough people, not enough space for you all. And it might be that we need to book more than one space split into different teams. I don't know. It might just be the same as last time. We'll see. Millie says we booked our hotel. Amazing. Are you staying at the same place? It was pretty convenient last time. I imagine you are. But yes, well done. Hopefully you have good luck with the trains this time. Didn't think about that. Last time you had a bit of a nightmare, didn't you? Hopefully it's plain sailing around that time of year. Yeah, let me know. But yes, so if everybody could please respond to that, even if it's just a maybe for now, it just helps me work out numbers. I'll book the usual table anyway. But yeah, anybody's welcome. It was something that we, as myself and the Patreon supporters of me, wanted to arrange, and that's what happened last time. But anybody is welcome to join us. Okay. Oh my god, the trains were awful last time. Yes. And yes, you booked the same place. Good. Yeah, it just makes sense. It's the closest one, isn't it? Dead easy. All right, let's go through the answers. Question number 1. Which footballer is associated with the hand of God? It is Diego Maradona. Question 2. What does the sporting abbreviation IBF mean to the likes of Anthony Joshua? So 1 point for each correct word. International Boxing Federation. Question 3, how many consecutive strikes do you need for a turkey in 10-pin bowling? It is 3. Question 4, which 3 football clubs were first, second and third in the Premier League before the English Premier League was suspended due to the pandemic? It was Liverpool, Manchester City and Leicester City. Question 5, which golf course is home to the Masters tournament? It was the Augusta National. Or it is the Augusta National. Question 6. Put these footballers into the correct order with the most international goals scored first. The 3 I gave you were Robin van Persie, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Romelu Lukaku. Most international goals scored first. It is Romelu Lukaku with 77. Then Zlatan Ibrahimovic with 62. And then Robin van Persie with 50. So Lukaku, Ibrahimovic and then Van Persie. 1 point for each, assuming they were in the correct order. Question 7. Whose American football teams are the Bills, the Titans and the 49ers It is the Buffalo Bills, the Tennessee Titans, and the San Francisco 49ers. Question 8. The film called $1 Million Baby is a movie based around which sport? It is boxing. Question 9. Which male and which female tennis players have won the Wimbledon singles titles the most times? So it's Roger Federer with 8 and Martina Navratilova with 9. Question 10. Which university has won the most Oxford versus Cambridge boat races? It is Cambridge with 86 to 81. And there was actually one time where they tied. It was a complete dead heat. But Cambridge with 86 are the leaders. Question 11. How many points are awarded for a first place finish in Formula 1, a try in rugby union, and a touchdown in American football? So it's 25 points in Formula 1, a try in rugby union is 5, and a touchdown in American football is 6. So again, that's for 3 points to you. 25, 5 and 6 were the answers. Question 12. What do WA, GD and C stand for in a netball team? It is wing attack, goal defence and centre. 3 different positions, 1 point for each again. Question 13. Who is the last German Formula 1 driver to win the World Drivers' Championship? That was back in 2016. It was Nico Rosberg. Question 14. Which 3 nations won the most gold medals at the Winter Olympics of 2018? So again, you could do this in any order, but Norway were first with 14. Well, actually they tied because Germany were then also had 14, and then Canada had 11. So Norway, Germany and Canada for 3 points. And finally, question 15. Which 3 football clubs were in the relegation zone of the Premier League when the season was suspended due to the pandemic? It was Norwich, Aston Villa and Bournemouth for 3 points. Now the answer for the Countdown Conundrum for 2 extra points, it is hazardous. So 2 bonus points if you got that correct. Some of you still have your bonus point from the kids question at the start to use, so go ahead and use that. Let me know in the comments how well you've done. Give us those team scores again. Then we can move on to round number 3, which will be your cats and dogs round. So as I mentioned before, that's going to be real or fictional. Anything that could be even remotely connected to a cat, a dog or both is up for grabs in this next round. But first I want to see how well you guys did in this round. Now, I am expecting, and yes, there will be higher scores. Mark says 21 plus 2 for the Funky Chickens. Good effort there. Donut scored 23 points, getting the conundrum as well. You both got the same scores then there. Well done. Let's have some of those other scores coming in. How are we doing for time? Oh, we're doing good. 19 for Millie, well done to you guys. Vernia says 15 plus 2 plus 1 for us. Okay, so 18 points there in total. Well done, using your points wisely there to round it up. 20 points for Andy, plus 2. Add my 1 for luck makes 23. You got 23 as well. Good stuff. You actually got the conundrum. Good work there. I know you struggled with some of those in the past, haven't you? Good scores then, guys. Okay, I think we'll move on. But again, keep those comments coming in. I'll scroll over now to the cats and dogs round, and we'll go through the motions again. Now then, with the cats and dogs round, 15 more questions. Same process. You're regulars. You all know how this works. Let's see how well you do. One final time before we get into the cryptic music round again. See how many more of those we can get. Okay, question number 1. What was the name of Charles Darwin's most famous research ship? Bear in mind, it's a cats and dogs round, so it's going to be connected to that in some way. What was the name of Charles Darwin's most famous research ship? Question number 2. Which English Football League club are the Tigers? Which English Football League club are the Tigers? Question number 3. Who is the patron saint of mountaineers? Who is the patron saint of mountaineers? Again, keep in mind the theme. That might give you a clue. Question number 4 now. What would an Iranian be called? What would an Iranian be called before 1936? What would an Iranian be called before 1936? Okay, question number 5 now for 2 more points. What are the names of the dog and the cat that belonged to The Simpsons for most of the show's history? What are the names of the dog and the cat that belonged to The Simpsons for most of the show's history? 1 point for each. Okay then, next question. Right then, where are we at? Question number 6 then. What was King Richard I's historical nickname? What was King Richard I's historical nickname? Must be connected to the theme. Don't forget that. What was King Richard I's historical nickname? Question number 7 now. Question 7. What are the names of the movie dogs that belonged to Detective Scott Turner, Dorothy Gale, and Stanley Ipkiss? What are the names of the movie dogs that belonged to Detective Scott Turner, Dorothy Gale, and Stanley Ipkiss? One point for each, of course, with that one. Question number 8 now. Question 8. What is the name of the annual dog show that celebrated the best non-pedigree dogs in the UK? What is the name of the annual dog show that celebrates the best non-pedigree dogs in the UK? Don't forget, of course, you have another countdown conundrum down there. If you work that one out, that's another 2 bonus points. You've got until the end of the round, as usual, with that. Right. Next question is question number 9. Which is the world's largest breed of tiger? Which is the world's largest breed of tiger? Question number 10 now for 3 more points. Question 10. What are the names of the cats that belonged to John Arbuckle, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Postman Pat? Oh, and he's given us advance notice. He's got the conundrum already. He's on a roll. I hope you get a good score as well, mate. Good stuff. I thought this one was actually the toughest of the 3 personally, but hey, well done. Question 10, I'm going to read to you once more. What are the names of the cats that belonged to John Arbuckle, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Postman Pat? 1 point for each. It's not very often Postman Pat gets referenced in different quiz rounds for different reasons. Can't remember. I've hosted a lot of these. I can't remember a time when there was that much crossover with Postman Pat of all things. But still, what's the name of his cat? And Sabrina's cat and John Arbuckle's cat. Question 11. Which variety of dog originating in the USA cannot be imported, bred or sold in the UK from laws passed in 1989 and 1991? This is not the same as the proposed laws that will ban another breed of dog that happened within the last month or so. This is a different one before all of this happened. So which variety of dog originating from the USA cannot be imported, bred or sold in the UK from laws passed in 1989 and 1991? That's not to say people still don't get hold of them. But it's not really the dog's fault that they're dangerous most of the time, is it? Let's be honest. Right. So yes, what was the name of that breed or variety of dog? Question 12. What names are given to the fully grown male and female cats? What names are given to the fully grown male and female cats? Right, question number 13 now. Question 13. What are the names of the dogs that are owned by the cartoon characters named Norbert Rogers, Peter Griffin, and George Jetson? What are the names of the dogs that are owned by the cartoon characters named Norbert Rogers, Peter Griffin, and George Jetson? I need to correct that actually. It's Norville Rogers. I had a feeling it was. Norville Rogers, not Norbert. Just to be clear on that one. Norville Rogers, Peter Griffin and George Jetson. Shouldn't make too much of a difference. The name may have rang a bell anyway. But it is Norville. For absolute clarity. Right, question 14. The stage musical Cats was based on which collection of whimsical poems by which well-known poet? The stage musical Cats was based on which collection of whimsical poems by which well-known poet? That's of course for 2 points. We won't talk about the movie. Wasn't exactly well received, that one, was it? Okay, and finally, question 15. This is for 4 points. Told you there was more points in this round. Which 4 professional American football teams have a big cat as part of their team names? Which 4 professional American football teams have a big cat as part of their team names? So 1 point for each correct answer, as always there. 4 points available. Now, if anybody wants a question repeated, as always, now's the time. Let me know. If not, I'll give you a little bit more thinking time. Same rules apply here, same process again. I will go through the answers, tally up your scores, let me know how well you did. Well, I will just give you 1 more minute or so's thinking time. And then, yeah, we'll move on to our cryptic music round and we'll see how many we can get, or until you all get bored and want to go. Because we're doing good for time. So we may be able to get quite a few tonight. Just depends if you've all got your thinking caps on. Full disclosure, I scrolled through the list earlier and I think I maybe got... I haven't actually guessed them on the sheet yet, but I did, in my head, I think I've worked out maybe 2 more. But we'll see what happens when we get to them. Could be wrong, I don't know. Anyway, last few seconds as well to think about the countdown conundrum. 2 bonus points if you can get that one correct as well. I think I'm going to go through the answers. I think you're all done very well tonight. No repeat requests have come in. Must have been reading things at a good pace for you all this evening. Alright, let's go. Question number 1. What was the name of Charles Darwin's most famous research ship? It is the Beagle. Question 2. Which English Football League club are Tigers? It is Hull City. Question 3. Who is the patron saint of mountaineers? That is the St. Bernard, or St. Bernard, as I say it. There's a pub quiz team, one of my reasonably regular quiz teams, that call themselves You Could Have Won a St. Bernard, as I shout it out over the microphone at the pub. St. Bernard, or St. Bernard, hence where the dog got the name from, I believe. Question 4. What would an Iranian be called before 1936? They were Persian. Question 5. What are the names of the dog and cat that belonged to The Simpsons for most of the show's history? Santa's Little Helper was their adopted greyhound, and Snowball 2 was their cat. Snowball 1, I don't think ever really appeared in the show. It was announced to have recently died in the very first episode of The Simpsons. So the cat for most of the show they had was called Snowball 2. If we were in the pub and you put Snowball and I was marking your entry sheet, I would not give you the point unless you put Snowball 2. But if you put Snowball and want to give yourself a point anyway, that's on you, all right? I'm not gonna query it because I can't tell what you've written down anyway. So, question 6. What was King Richard I's historical nickname? It was Lionheart. And yes, you can call me a meanie all you like. The cat was called Snowball 2, and Snowball 1, or Snowball, was addressed as being dead in the very first episode. You call me mean all you like, that's what the character was. Oh dear. Okay, question 6, Lionheart. Question 7 was for 3 points. So, what are the names of the movie dogs that belong to Detective Scott Turner, Dorothy Gale, and Stanley Ipkiss? So Detective Scott Turner had Hooch, from the movie Turner and Hooch. Dorothy Gale is, of course, that's Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, so the dog's name was Toto. And Stanley Ipkiss was Jim Carrey's character in The Mask, and his dog was called Milo. I recently saw a TikTok which was a behind-the-scenes look at the making of The Mask, and my word, that was one smart dog. Wow. I mean, most on-screen dogs are pretty clever animals, but this dog was incredible. I had no idea just how clever that dog was. Okay, question 8. What is the name of the annual dog show that celebrated the best non-pedigree dogs in the country? It's called Scruffs. Question 9. Which is the world's largest breed of tiger? It is the Siberian tiger. Question 10. What are the names of the cats that belong to John Arbuckle, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Postman Pat? It is Garfield, Salem, and Jess. Question 11. Which variety of dog originated in the USA and cannot be imported, bred, or sold in the UK from laws passed in 1989 and 1991? That is the Pit Bull Terrier. Question 12. What names are given to the fully grown male and female cats? They are a Tom and a Queen. Question 13. What are the names of the dogs that are owned by the cartoon characters named Norville Rogers, Peter Griffin, and George Jetson? Norville Rogers is Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, therefore the answer for that one is Scooby-Doo. Peter Griffin from Family Guy, that is Brian the dog. And George Jetson off of The Jetsons, it's Astro. So for 3 points, Scooby-Doo, Brian and Astro. Question 14. The stage musical Cats was based on which collection of whimsical poems by which well-known poet? It was called The Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats, and that was by T.S. Lewis. And finally, question 15. Which 4 professional American football teams have big cats as part of their team names? They are the Detroit Lions, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Carolina Panthers. Detroit Lions, Jacksonville Jaguars, Cincinnati Bengals, Carolina Panthers. Right, the answer for the countdown conundrum then, the third and final one of the evening, is composite. Or composite. Tally up those scores then. Last chance if you haven't used the kids bonus question from a bonus point from the question at the start of the evening. 2 points for the countdown conundrum, 1 point for everything else. Let's see how well you did, and then we can move on to this final round. See how many of the cryptic bands and artists or groups you guys can get. Okay, some scores coming in then, that's good. We have Millie saying 12 plus 0 for us. I said it was a tricky conundrum. I thought some of you might struggle on that one. Yeah, Donut scored 16, no conundrum either. Ooh, okay, 16 points, well done though. A humble 14 plus 2, so 16 this time for Andy, well done. Britzillions have got 14 points, and Mark and the Funky Chickens, you've got 18 plus 2. Very good score there, well done. Okay, let's move on then to the next round then, our guest round for the evening, continuing our cryptic music quiz. So as with before, it's all down here. We've got the cryptic clue there, the guesses we've been making here. If it's correct, it will say so automatically here. All right. For those who are new to this one, this is a quiz in an Excel sheet that I've had for many years, and I just never got around to completing. And every time I went back to it, I kept drawing a blank and struggling, and occasionally getting 1 or 2. Then I'd leave it for a few weeks and come back to it. So, get in the comments and start putting your guesses in. Try and say the clue or part of the clue, so I know which ones we're talking about. I'll fill it in as we go, and we'll do this for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. We'll see how we go. I've got something already. Is a liger bigger than a Siberian tiger? Well, it's this part, isn't that part lion, part tiger, so it's not therefore all tiger. I don't know, is the answer. I didn't say biggest cat, I said biggest tiger. So is a liger part lion, part tiger, does that? I don't know, is the answer. We'll have to look it up and see. And confirm for future quizzes, I guess. Good question. All right. Mark says men at work. Andy says men at work as well. And Sue as well, men at work. Blokes grafting. Yes, this is one of the ones I saw earlier and wondered if it was men at work. Let's have a look. Yes, men at work. Good start. We're off to a good start. We've still got chocolate candy above that. Let me just scroll up a bit. Chocolate candy is there above that. Asking the guru, that's all. Yeah, I know they're big. They can be big cats. Well, they are big cats, but literally they can be enormous. You might be right, but I don't know if it would count. That's worth looking up though. I'll look into that. Yeah, chocolate candy is the highest one up now. We haven't got an answer for. Fanatical towards the girl. We looked at that one last week as well. Preserve, reflect on famous river. Not sure. Corridor containing horse fodder. Picture house tune. These are really tough ones. There's plenty more. I can scroll down. I think there's another one I think I probably know as well, actually. But let me just scroll down and put more on screen for you, and you can just shout them out. A friendly, prickly bush. A friendly, prickly bush. I don't know. Bird of prey with colic. Raincoat bought near Blackpool. Mac something. Raincoat's going to be a Mac, isn't it? What's a place near Blackpool that could finish that off? My geography of that part of the country is not very good, admittedly. Somebody wants to look into that one, feel free. There's Dorothy again, look. Toto. Queen of the Slimming World. Man Web, hold on, I'll scroll down too far. Man Web Bulb Band. Oh, Thin Lizzy, Queen of the Slimming World. Oh, I like a bit of Thin Lizzy. Yes. I can't keep up internet-wise. Not great out in the sticks. Ah, bless. Okay. Yeah, no worries, Ant. Thank you all for being here. Thin Lizzy, yes. Good work. Okay. What else have we got here? Let's scroll down a bit more. The cost of watching a comet. Watching a comet. There's another word for a comet. Meteor. Shooting star. The cost of watching one. Man, these are really tricky, aren't they? Man Friday's partner in flames. Who's Man Friday's partner? There's a quiz question for you. That'll get us started. You can get that one. There was one that I'm sure was Spice Girls, actually. Where's that one gone? Fanatical towards the girl. Chocolate candy. No. Sorry you're late. When's the next one? Michelle, oh bless. Tuesday next week I'll be back with another one. 8 o'clock start as always. What else could these ones be though? These music, these bands or artists. Bill Haley and the Comets. The bill, yes, the cost. Bill Haley. Okay, hold on. Where did it go? Cost of watching the comet. There we go. Right. Bill Haley. Yes. The cost of watching the comet. Bill Haley and the Comets. Very good. Nice one, Andy. Let's scroll down, show you some more then, because I think we're stuck on some of those others. I might put some of these up on the top fan group actually, see if anybody else can work them out in their own time. Air supply, oxygen cylinder, air supply. Ooh. All out of love. Well done. Excellent. Okay, that's another one then. Big Apple movement. New York something. Big Apple, that's New York, isn't it? Dances in Jerry-built prison. Ew. Fashionable assembly. Wild urban evangelists. There's definitely one here. Keep the horses in footwear, there's another one. Oh, genuflect. Neil Diamond. Genuflect for a gem. Is that what Neil means? Is that what genuflect means? Wow. Excellent stuff. You are on a roll tonight, Andy. I like it. Not what they seem. Dicky at the precipice. Depressed Evertonians. Depressed Evertonians. Don't know why that one's got ref next to it. Invalid error. Might not be able to get that one. Oh. Orleans maid swaps her protective shield. Joan armour trading? Is that right? Is that one? can't. And let me just Google how you say it. Is that have I just made that up? I haven't, have I? No, Joan Armour Trading. Yeah, that's got to be it. I don't know where I pulled that from. All right, let's pop that in there. Yes. All right, I'm allowed to celebrate that one. Okay. Right, first man on the piste. There's a few different sports that happen on the piste. Did you know fencing takes place on the piste? There's some good pub quiz knowledge for you. I don't think that's what this clue is referring to, though. I don't think so. Something about a toffee for Evertonian. Yeah, but I can't think of any bands or artists that have got that. Toffee. Unless it's part of the word and it just sounds a bit like toffee, or it's spelt slightly differently. Father's cigarette end. That doesn't sound pleasant. Father's cigarette end. Dad something. Dad's. Famous doctor. Famous doctor. Don't know. A graded nut. Flying metal worker. Fleetwood Mac. Raincoat near Blackpool. Oh my. You might be on something there. That sounds good. Hold on. Raincoat. Here we go. Yes, we got there. That was a team effort. Yeah, I knew it'd be Mac something. Raincoat is always going to be Mac. Good, right. Let's go on some other ones then. Famous doctor. A graded nut. Flying metal worker. Spanish tomato sauce. Spanish tomato sauce. What's another word for a Spanish tomato sauce? Eaten by the Magmus? What's Magmus? Magmus? Don't know. Las Ketchup? Oh my goodness, that's awful, but brilliant at the same time, of course. Spanish tomato sauce. Las Ketchup. Come on. Yeah, well done. Thank you for that. Good effort there, thank you to Millie's team. How are we doing for time? Alright, let's do a couple more. Try and get 2 more, and then we'll finish a bit early tonight. Eaten by Magmas? I have no idea what that is. Youngster's Fate. Latin Water. Interweave. Interweave. Ooh. Is that going to be crisscross? Like that? No, hold on. Like that? I'm sure it was it K on that one? Like that? I don't know, I'm going to have to Google that one, check out the spelling. That doesn't make sense being that. Latin water, aqua. Ooh. Boom. Good work. Yes, well done Vernia, well done Andy. That was aqua. Okay, Chris Cross. So Chris with 1 S, Cross with 2 S's. That's interweaving, isn't it? There we go. Oh my goodness. Mark, you might well be a genius. In fact, I already know you are, because you all lot have got some really good ones here as well over the weeks. Okay, fanatical about the girl, Madonna, mad on her. That is so clever. I'd never have got that. I'm fanatical. Right, here we go. Madonna. Yeah, I haven't got it yet. Here we go. Yes. Oh, we're going to complete this list. Not tonight, but we will complete it. I can feel it. I know we're going to do this. All right. Can we get one more? Last one. Say what you see, folks. Not what they seem. Father's cigarette end. Famous doctor. Graded nut. Youngster's fate. Delicate and sensitive Arabic monarch. Jimmy cannot prevent gender device. What? Let's get to some newer ones. Manufactured vegetable. Oh, prickly bush, buddy holly. That might be it. That might well be it. Let's go back up. Where's prickly bush? A friendly. Yes, of course. Buddy, friendly. Holly is a prickly bush. Outstanding. Oh, man web, etc. Is that Electric Light Orchestra? All right, well, since the comment's there, let's have a look. Man web pulp band. Man web pulp band. Electric Light Orchestra. Prefab sprout, you reckon? For the same one? Man web. Bulb light band orchestra. Oh, okay, I'm with you now. Took me a while. Oh, you guys. Thank you for that, Andy. Right, where's prefab sprout then? Where's that one going? What was the clue for that? Remind me. Something before? Manufactured veg. Oh, okay. Yes, thank you. Okay, let's go down. Where was that one then? Manufactured veg is going to be here. Prefab sprout. Is it going to be all one word? Sorry. Yes, there we go. Well remembered. That's good. Khalifa, Arabic king. Is Khalifa an Arabic king? Ooh. Okay. Delicate and sensitive Arabic monarch. I feel like it needs to be more than just Khalifa, but I mean I'll put it in just to try it. No. Delicate and sensitive. So it might be something Khalifa, but the delicate and sensitive has got to come into it somehow. Give you a little bit more thinking time on that, and then we will call it a day, because we're at 20 past. 20 past now? 21 past. Okay. All right. I'm gonna some of these ones that we've been stuck on for the longest. I'm gonna Wiz Khalifa. Yeah, but is that delicate and sensitive? I was gonna say it, but I didn't. Is that how it's spelled? Wiz. I don't think this is that newer quiz as well. Oh, hello. That was clever. Wiz Khalifa. Oh, Manhattan Transfer as well. Yes, okay, that makes sense. All right, let's try and get these in. Wiz Khalifa, is that how it's spelled? Oh, no, that's wrong. I was going to say that there now. All right. Let me just check. Wiz Khalifa. Yeah, that's not that then, because that is how it's spelled. Okay, nice try. Well, let's get the Big Apple one in there then. Whereabouts was that? Big Apple movement, it was, wasn't it? Big Apple movement. Manhattan transfer. Have I spelt Manhattan wrong? Probably. Manhattan. Not N. Not E, rather. Manhattan transfer. Boom. Great stuff. We've made a lot of good progress there. So what I'm going to do then, let me move on then to the... Oh, actually, no. Two things. Right. I will share some of the ones we got stuck on the longest in the top fan group. Not too many, because I want to save them for when we do this quiz, but some of them we've been stuck on for a long time. I think we all need a bit more thinking time outside of the quiz show to have a think about those, and you can put them in the comments in reply, but I'll only put it in the top fan group, okay? So if you're not in there already, please do join it. Anybody that watches the live shows is welcome to be a part of that. The other thing I wanted to quickly show you is the link in the description of my videos. One of the places it can take you is this. Okay, so this is just a quick look at some of the things you can have from my merch store. Okay, So there's loads of different colours, loads of different designs, all sorts of things there. All you need to do, click on the link in the description and look for the Spreadshirt link. Well, there's hundreds of different colours, different logos. Quizzing is intelligence, having fun. Quiz nights are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Coming soon, there's the Christmas one, Merry Quizmas. There's all sorts of things in here. Bags, hats, whatever. Loads of different ones. Waffle on, because I do waffle on a lot. There's that picture too. So that's what that was all about. Just wanted to give you a quick glance at that. Okay, thank you all for attending. We've reached the end of another quiz night. Jerry Prison Spandau Ballet. I will add it on. I will add it on once I close this down. I'm sure it's correct. Yeah. You're right. I'm sure you are, Mark. Thank you for that. Yes, really hope you've enjoyed the quiz as always. We'll do the same thing again next week. 3 more quiz rounds, and then we'll do more of these cryptic bands and try and finish off the list a bit more. It's going well. I'm glad you're all enjoying it. And I don't know what we're going to do once we've finished that list. I'll have to find something else to do. Maybe I'll bring back what we used to do before. I don't know. I'm open to ideas anyway. We're a few weeks off of that, I think. But take care of yourselves. Do respond to the invite if you're coming along, if you can make it to that in-person quiz night in the middle of Christmas and New Year's. The invite the calendar invite is there on the Facebook page, and I have shared it as well, of course. And that's about it. Give the video a like before you go, please, if you haven't done that already. Follow my socials as always. I will see you all same time next time for more of the same fun. Cheers. Good night.